about his physical strength. Punching power different than physical strength.
That's true.
When you lock up, is he strong?
Too small.
Yeah?
He too small.
You just said that man too small, bro. Y'all in the same weight class.
That's a new weight class for
up.
me. A new weight class for me.
That's what I'm saying. That night y'all was in the same weight class. And you still feel like he too small?
He was too small.
Dang.
Nah, he really tried to bite you. I'm like, how you know? Show me. He couldn't pull it up. But when I went back and watched the fight, I was like, because I wasn't even thinking about it no more. It's probably like a day later. I seen it, I was like,
oh no, he did it. That's crazy.
And then you can hear Moro Ronaldo.
Oh, he did.
Compare him to Mike Tyson.
Right back at it with another podcast with all the smoke. Andre SOG Ward with Lamont Roach talking about the rematch with Tank Davis. If you have not seen the video on that, you kind of already know where I stand. I'll put the link in my bio for anybody that wants to watch that. But anyways, this is about the rematch though. How do you guys think it's gonna go? I'm excited for it, to be really honest, because it was a very, very competitive fight. And I believe they're at a good stance because although it was considered a draw, I think it would have been best as a draw, even though I do believe that Lamont Roach stole the show for sure. But it sets him up for, as a boxer and as a businessman, just more money. So now that it's been neutralized, now it's not 1-1 or 1-0. So now they get to start again. And then now it's going to be 1-0. And then they're going to go from there if it's 1-1. And then technically it wouldn't even be a trilogy. It would be how whatever it's called after a trilogy. A series? Is that a series? But anyways, let's go ahead and get this thing started.
That's the WBA 130-pound champion. He is a respected figure in the game. And he's coming off of one of the biggest, hottest fights of the year. I want to welcome to the show, Brother Lamont Roach.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
Man, bro, I appreciate you taking the time. Man, I see you making your rounds, man. You ain't got a lot of rest since the fight, man.
I'm telling you.
Like you've been working.
I've been running around a little bit. This is actually like a different stage for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I've been champ, even though I've been amongst some of the best fighters in the world for a long time, I've never been on this platform where everybody can see me. So might as well take advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, you put on a great performance, and I want us to start off with the fight. Not the details, but just I know you just kind of went back and watched it. What's your takeaway just from watching it 1 or 2 times after the fight, now that you had time to sit with it?
My takeaway is, some people might be a little bit more privileged than others in the ring. When it comes to the commission, when it comes to judging, and when it comes to the refs. I think I performed very well against a highly touted, highly skilled, world-class athlete in itself, Gervonta Davis. But I think I edged him, and I think some of those privileges negated me a win. So that's how I took it. But other than that, I think I performed very well. I executed the game plan to a T.
That's what you had in mind, the way you execute.
Oh yeah,
that's sure. That's what y'all trained for. That's what Pops wanted.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew it was gonna happen like that.
You came out with the tweet saying, "Hey, there may be some action. Something's going on." Like, what shifted versus what you were originally hearing that made you tweet that about the decision?
So what made me say something it was the point that the New York State Athletic Commission kind of like picked it up and reviewed it itself. So that's why I was like, oh, normally that don't happen. And, and the only way it would have got overturned is if somebody reached out from my camp or whatever. And just to clear this up, because you know how people are, they like, oh, you got lawyers, you're suing, this and that. Look, as soon as they see lawyer, they think it's sue or it's a lawsuit or whatever case may be. No.
I feel like it would have hurt him if he actually decided to do that.
If y'all had
because technically Tank gave him a shot.
A life-changing win to be overturned due to a fault in the referee or corruption in the referee. And I said or, so I'm not saying it was corrupt. it was corrupt. Why wouldn't somebody on your team reach out? Why wouldn't you look at your team like
That's a good business.
they did that on on their own call? Like, I mean, obviously they was like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
It's
We
good
gonna-
business.
for sure. So why wouldn't I want to have a team like mine to press the action, especially if they picked it up themselves? So that's how it happened.
That's good business, man. People don't understand what they, a lot of these people,
I know.
they just talking, man. And you got to do what you got to do because, it's a situation that very well could have got overturned and probably should have been overturned.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So, but before we get any deeper into the fight, man, take me back to your early years, when you first started boxing and your family life and just kind of how you grew up.
Well, I grew up very family oriented. Me more personally, I was just if you ask my mother and father, a rambunctious kid, or technically a bad. So, I was just outside. I was very competitive from the jump. I was in sports since I was 5 years old. I always wanted to be the best. I thought I could do everything. I thought I could play baseball, football, basketball. And I did, actually.
You did all those sports?
I did all the sports. I did all the sports. And then, after a couple fights in school and outside the street, and then they were just like, all right, we got something for you. So I started boxing. And then, when I started, I wasn't the best. And I ain't like that. I probably got my I started sparring 2 weeks into being in the gym.
Oh,
and then, so,
you tripping.
So, my cousin
That
used to tell
dog-
me, like, don't
that
worry,
dog
you're gonna
house,
get
man.
it, you're gonna get it. And then, like, the tide started changing about that. That when it hit like a month, that tide started changing. I was sparring people with fights, 30 fights, and all that's a lot to somebody who don't got no fights. And the tide started changing. Then I was like, all right, I'm on that. I'm trying to be the best. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was cool, and then I enjoyed it. Boxing became it outgrew football as my first love.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Didn't take long.
It ain't take long.
Yeah. Was Pops training you early on?
Nope, he's the cameraman.
Really? Really?
For sure. Yeah.
So you got all that early footage when you first started?
I lie to you not. We got crates.
Oh, man. Say
Crates.
that, man. VHS?
That's blessed.
I ain't that old.
CD?
We got DVDs.
Yeah, I got VHSs at
Yeah.
the house. I had to transfer it over to digitally.
Yeah. Yeah, we got DVDs. Yep.
Yeah. Man, transfer that over when you can, bro. That's
sure.
a gold
Yeah.
mine.
For sure.
That's a gold mine.
I wish I
When
had
did
mine
Pop start
still.
training?
It's somewhere.
So he started training me, I want to say 2007. I started boxing in 2004. My cousin Bernard Boogaloo Roach, he was my trainer from the jump. And he had his own gym called Fit to Fight. And when some stuff happened, the gym broke up, split up. My cousin just went on his own. My dad was like, the gym's splitting up. What you want to do? Like, you gonna go with Boogaloo, or you gonna, stay at the gym or whatever? And I was just like, I'm going with Boogaloo. Yeah. Don't worry about all that. That's my people. That's how So when the gym split, my cousin Boogaloo said, he ain't asked my dad. He's like, look, I need your help. You gonna help me train your son? You gonna help me train the rest of these kids that I got? It's been a wrap. So
That's Pop's introduction to being a trainer.
For sure.
Yeah,
He been
that's
learning on the
crazy.
job.
That's crazy. What was it about boxing, playing them other sport? What was it about boxing that fed you in a different type of way? Like, what was it?
Like I said, I was driven by being the best. When I got to high school, it was like, all right, I'm gonna play football and still try to box.
Man, that's what I did.
I was
bro.
losing weight. I was losing
That's
weight
bad.
for fights. They was getting bigger. They was
Right.
eating 5 times a day, creatine, protein shakes, all that. So it's a little different. I'm looking
You
at it
can't
like
be
I'm
jumping weight
number
class,
one
bro.
in the country at my age
Especially,
and weight.
bro,
I just
what?
won a national tournament. I ain't playing football. Y'all can miss me with that. Well, it's 1,000 people that's number 1 or number 2. 1,000 more people better than me at my position than them, and they way bigger.
Yeah, and that's a team sport too.
For sure.
It ain't nothing like everything being on you.
Definitely.
Yeah, ain't
Definitely.
nothing like that. But you grew up in DMV. I don't know if y'all. I don't think y'all. If y'all from here, y'all don't call it the DMV. Huh?
Nah, we do. We call it a DMV. It's just certain parts of like. It's like specifically certain parts, especially when you're from there. It's more than likely DC, Maryland, and that's like Prince George's County and the closer counties surrounding it, excluding Baltimore, and then Virginia.
So you like being from that region, bro. Y'all they can scrap, they can fight.
Oh yeah.
And I seen that just being in the Nationals. You see certain cats, Philly cats pull up, Concrete Jungle, then you see DC cats, and you see Headbangers, then you see cats from Detroit and different parts. You start realizing them, man, they can rumble. I mean, they cool, they alright, but they can go.
Yeah, the who's.
Being from like this part of the region, like it probably wasn't no average come up for you just like learning how to box. Like you got to learn fast because there's some dogs in that gym, I suppose, right?
Yeah, definitely. So it's always been, especially since I've been boxing, it's always been a hotbed. You got to think our history is rich with world champions, even Olympians.
And great trainers.
And great trainers. So I think me coming up in this environment in the boxing game is just, perfect. It's suited because look at me now, out of my crop, out of the, surrounding age groups or whatever the case may be, maybe a few before me and a few after me. Look where I'm at.
I know you mentioned a couple fights, but was you a street cat, a street fight type of cat, or was you got a lot of fights at school, or did your reputation keep people back?
So when I started boxing, it was like not
I was
really.
too scared of my dad to start street fighting.
It wasn't like
it wasn't like that. I wasn't too into that no more.
What was the local amateur scene like when you start moving, like not national but local?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, younger. I ain't gonna lie. When
Y'all
we
was
got
rumbling.
older, huh?
Y'all was rumbling though.
Oh, was we?
But mine and Ant, like they older than you. So you missed. Did you miss their wave? Or did you catch the end
Yeah,
of it?
for sure. I missed their wave for sure.
Okay.
But we was rumbling every weekend. They wasn't scared to put nobody in no tournaments, nothing. I mean, like I fought Lamont and Anthony nephew twice. His name Patrick Harris, the son of one of the tank trainers. We fought twice when we was kids. It was a lot. I probably fought
It's a small world,
Headbangers,
bro.
I want to say like 6-7 different times as an amateur.
Mm-hmm. Tough fights.
A son.
Yeah.
The only two I lost was to him, to Boog's son. Pat. Yeah. That's my man though. That's my man.
Yeah. How did you grow up though? You grew up like middle class, or was y'all had a?
I grew up not wanting for nothing. I grew up. My parents did exactly what they were supposed to do to provide me with a great life. Not wanting for nothing. Especially as a kid, especially now, I always had their love and support, whether it be financially, emotionally, physically, whatever.
I'm glad he's not playing the role of like I gotta be hard, I gotta be gangster.
Probably have my own choices. They're probably, what I'm saying, like, but so growing up in the city is just like it's different. No, it might not be different. Got two ways you can go. Positive or whatever everybody else do. I was kind of like in the middle. I was going positive, but like if you ask my parents, I was bad at it.
You had moments though.
So, yeah, for sure.
I was gonna ask you that. That was my next question. Like, how did you, even if you don't grow up like in the slums, you around stuff
All the time.
You got cousins, you got brothers, you got friends. How did you stop yourself from getting caught up for real? Like,
so I think that was a thing that seeing my own potential and knowing where I wanted to be. Even though I probably did some of the dumbest in the world.
Looking back, you was tripping.
Yeah. But like you said, it's what you around. That's what I was around all the time. All the time. I mean, like you said, my cousins, all my friends, no disrespect, y'all. Most of my friends been in and out of jail for I don't know how long. I ain't gonna call them jailbirds. They don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the people that I grew up with, the people I relate to. Cousins, sad to say, died of gun violence or, around that. So I've been there. And I've seen a whole lot.
Yeah, I heard you, I don't know if it was on your YouTube channel or somewhere else, but I heard you say, man, I don't really do nothing. I'll be at the house chilling or I'm taking collect calls. Like, who calling you from the pen?
My man Malik.
County.
My man Malik.
Yeah. You got people in there?
My man Malik. My man Situation Slim. I don't know if y'all, I don't want to put his real name out there, but Situation Slim, he an artist or whatever. Because when he walked me out for my fight against Philgo McCory, he back in right now. My man Jigs just came home. So it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's sad. Malik gonna be in there for a couple more years, but he used to box with me, and that's
For real?
yeah,
Really?
That's tough.
he used to box with me.
Man.
So
Some of the coldest cats, man, the world will never see.
Oh man, if that ain't the
Hoops,
truth,
football
bro.
players, boxers. I know so
Tell
many
me about
boxers right now. I'm like, bro, you have way more talent, like raw talent than me. He got off. He got off and then went astray and then
that's
just got
how
caught
it
up.
be. That's definitely how it
And
is.
that's why I say that you don't have to be the best to do great things. With whatever talent you have right now, you just hone in on what you're good at and put a little bit more emphasis on what you're not so great at and just attack it with everything. Because really you have nothing to lose. Like, you have to do it. And this is a testament. Like, I know people that I'm like, where? I'm still curious and still watching to see if I see anybody pop up from when I was fighting, bro. Not a single soul.
I'll see it. For sure.
When I look at spots like, like Ohio, like, Cleveland,
They don't breed
Cincinnati.
nothing but athletes in Ohio.
Man, bro, and they
That's
all
all
can
it
fight.
is to do.
They all
Oh
can
man.
fight. But I also like I know the Cincinnati cats and the Cleveland cats, and they all say the same thing. They like, bro, it's crabs in the bucket. Like, it's literally like you start trying to climb out, the city gonna pull you back down. They're gonna start hating on you. They're gonna make it hard for you to make it. Is that the vibe you got being in the DMV area? Is it different?
Yeah. No, it's both. I ain't gonna lie.
It's love, but it's also some of that.
but it's a whole lot of that. I just got, honestly, today on the way up here, I just got some BS that I seen that I ain't really take too kindly for, but for somebody from my city too. But
In the build up though, I know you was isolated in Florida, I believe you was at. You kind of locked in and probably kind of trying to stay out the way. But like, what did you feel? Did you feel like they was like, oh, he finna get knocked out messing with Javante?
yeah,
Mostly?
I seen it. Ding, 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 ding. Notifications, all that. But you know what you really gotta worry about though, or not worry, but that you gotta keep an eye out
Fake
for?
love.
The ones who quiet.
Yeah, like, what's up, bro? It's all good.
The ones who don't say nothing about this fight. Because you know what they waiting on? The result. If you win, it's, oh, I knew you could do it.
Yep.
If you lost, I knew that you was going to get knocked out.
How you deal with that though?
I don't really care about it, though. Because I got real love. I got real support. I got real people
That's good.
behind me that really want to see me succeed. So that's how, like, I don't know most of them. So
Having your
I don't
backing
care.
and foundation
I'm
is
not
huge.
Even if they around your city,
Yeah, no, I don't really care. What they gonna do for me?
they not your people.
Right.
They not my people. After I win, they still like, you know what I'm saying? Like, still don't matter. If I were to lose, what they gonna say?
Don't be like Adrian Brown and be like, I got the city on my back. Don't do that. Because the city ain't got your back. Because the moment you fail, they'll be like, damn, you said you had the city on your back and you didn't do nothing and you still lost. Gonna turn on you. Your people, the ones that been rocking with you, they your foundation, they your backing, and that's the only people you should care about. Nobody else.
They all told you was gonna lose. Don't matter.
I know you and Javante rumbled, twice as amateurs?
Yeah.
When did you first become aware of Javante Davis, that he was even a fighter?
Probably when I was like 10. So it was like my first year boxing, for real.
What you remember, what you was hearing about him?
That he was winning. That he was
Was he
winning.
stopping cats back then?
Was he stopping them? Nah. But he was real. He was like, real flashy. He had the name already. He had the name Tank. So he was real flashy. He was from Baltimore.
He
So
really
that was
throwing
a
them
thing
things,
too.
too.
That was just like he stood out because they had most of the time they had to travel to DC to fight in our golden gloves, silver gloves, all that stuff. So we already knew that he been good since he been little. So I was very aware of him since a kid.
When did y'all first bump?
We probably first got in the ring with each other, sparred probably like
That boy
13.
didn't even put up
He
his
a year
hand until he
older
was
than
right in
me,
front of
so
him.
He was probably 14, I was like 13. Maybe even 12. It depends. But we got a lot of rounds in.
Yeah, I didn't know y'all sparred. I thought y'all just fought.
Oh yeah, no. We got some
Yeah,
rounds in.
yeah,
I got them on tape.
yeah. You felt like what you knew about him, even though it was a long time ago, did any of that help you in this fight with him? Tendencies, mannerisms, he like to do this.
Yeah, but it's more eternal than physical. If you get what I'm saying. So
I feel like I need to break that down because if you haven't fought, then probably even if you have fought, you probably wouldn't know. But what my understanding is from it is that you can. It's like a sense of familiarity. That's what it is. So it's like the same sense of comfortability or familiarity you have with your loved ones or whatever. And if you've already been in that kind of situation to where you have that person that you spar all the time, you know their mannerisms and everything, but it doesn't really come to you as in like they do this all the time, they do that all the time. It's like more of a feeling and a sense of awareness rather than trying to pick what they do or don't do.
yeah.
Like the mentality.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that I witnessed that probably helped me more outside of the work that we had in the fight. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to some of that in a minute because I got some questions on that.
All right.
So you turned pro in 2014. Why you didn't wait till the 2016 Olympics?
It was too long.
Yeah, another two. You could wait another 2 years.
You know what's crazy? I could have tried out because they had to reload. I could have went, but we had somebody competing in the last chance tournament, and I would have had to qualify through the last chance. Like my birthday was on the cusp where I couldn't go to no other qualifying tournaments but the last chance tournament, and we already had somebody in there. And he actually made it to the championship and lost to Raynell Williams from Ohio.
But you turned pro. Who did you turn pro with initially? Promoter-wise, manager-wise?
Golden Boy and Oscar
Okay, you was with them from the beginning.
from the jump.
Really? Okay. You're not with them no more, huh?
Nah.
Yeah. Did you have a manager?
Yeah, I had a man. My dad was my manager.
Okay. He's still the man.
Yeah, he's still my manager.
Yeah.
Yep. Right now, my dad works with Robert Diaz, who's been a matchmaker at Golden Boy, but he's always been a handler of my career, who helped build me up. Him and my dad built me up from the ground up when it came to my fights and who I fought and how my career turned out. And now we're working with Gary Jonas as well. So it's like a little powerhouse.
How involved are you with like the business side? Like you a cat that like, I'm gonna let my dad do that, or do you want to know what they saying and you want to weigh in?
Oh, I
on
want to
money,
know
the details, the contract, all that.
I want to know for sure.
Care about that?
Yeah, I do.
That's good.
I do.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my career.
Yeah.
So
What type of businessman are you? You be giving in on negotiations, or you be fighting hard?
no, I be putting my foot down.
You put down?
I make them say, oh, well, I don't know if they gonna
Like that?
Yeah.
Your first title shot against Jamel Herring in Fresno, California. Ain't nothing out there but cows, bruh.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And I called that fight. What's the difference between that guy and this guy, the guy we just seen face Gervonta Davis?
sharper.
Because to me, the confidence looked different. You just look like a different fighter. Maybe I'm reading that wrong.
I feel like it's just a mentality.
A
like you're
different
saying.
fighter, yeah, but only because I am evolved. I had the same skill set back then. Believe it or not. It's a lot of factors with Jamel though. 5'10", 5'11", southpaw, and he had a good team.
Yeah.
He had a real good team. They had a good game plan, and he was real awkward. So that made for it was just a little just right there. But in a sense, I mean, like fast forwarding to today, it's like I think you even probably said something when we had the fighter meetings. Like when we had the fighter meetings, you had said something to the degree of like when it comes that time and you don't gotta take no for an answer, what you want to do. That's the difference. See, I said, yeah, I ain't taking no for an answer, but I ain't apply it all the way. I started too late. After that, switch clicked. I couldn't take no for an answer no more. So that's what it really
And I read somewhere where Pop said you needed that though. He didn't say you needed. He said something along the lines of like that made my son a better fighter. Like that loss made him better.
Yeah, for sure.
In that area that you talking about right there. Yeah, that loss, man. Some people losses don't really affect them like that. They just take it with the win. Like, oh, you win some, you lose some. But the other people, that thing sit with you.
Oh,
Sit with you.
guess who was only in the back? In the back.
Yeah.
Me and my mom. In the corner crying.
Man.
It was tough. I ain't gonna lie, I was depressed.
Off of that?
I don't think people
I ain't no
realize
loser,
that,
bro.
man.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that. After
Because
the
you
draw,
giving
was pissed.
everything, man.
We ain't come here for that. So,
And that one tough too, because you right there. Like, you right there.
yeah.
And for everything you getting right now, you get your hand raised, it's double that. In terms of just attention, notoriety, legacy, all that.
Legacy.
Yeah.
You gotta think. That's what I'm in it for. I set goals for myself. Being a 2-division world champion, it's on my goal list. Being a 2-time world champ, it's on my goal list. I would have knocked both of them out in one setting. Imagine the possibilities after that.
What was the reason, bro, that, like, I read something, but they did, like, the New York State Athletic Commission, what was the reason they gave you for not overturning it?
So the reason was that if it would have been a score to knockdown, there's no definite outcome of how Javante would have responded or fought with the remaining rounds.
Stop it, bro.
What I took from that is basically, yeah, we messed up, but somebody got to take the fall. And it ain't going to be him.
Yeah.
So, like, they owned up to it. Like, all right, we missed this. They owned up to it. It's like,
So they said,
but they just saying like, all right, we not gonna overturn it though. We're gonna apologize and give you your flowers, but you ain't gonna get what you want.
Right.
That's basically what I got from it.
And you ain't heard nothing from the ref. He didn't make no statement in
He
there?
ain't make no statement.
Of course not.
That was I
He
ain't
getting
gonna
paid
lie,
too
man.
much.
That was from him. That's sad.
A lot of times that's what the commissions do though, man. If something bad happened with a ref, they'll protect the referee.
Yeah.
And they'll try to get in front of it and they'll have a spokesperson come out and it's like, yeah, that's cool sometimes, but if you drop the ball like that and that affects my legacy, my livelihood,
Yeah.
because y'all negotiating for a rematch right now. So you negotiating from a win versus a draw, it's two different discussions.
Two different discussions.
Money way different. Like and that's your mistake.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but man, it took you, after
I know it's tough just as a fighter. Like business wise, you just see it, or even from a fan standpoint, you know that okay, it was a draw. It's almost like it's neutral, reset in a way, right? But at the same time, it takes away from the fighter because that's more they have to give for more fights possibly. Because now it's 0, it's neutralized now. Now it's either gonna be 1-0. Or 2-0 or 1-1, then 2-1. Like that's a lot to give. That's a lot of training camp. That's a lot of all that, and I don't think a lot of people see it as that because everybody just watches as a spectator, but not in the perspective of the fighter and what they have, and a team, and just everything. There's a lot that goes into this, man.
The Jamel Herring law. How did you come out of that though? How did you turn the corner, put it behind you, and say, "Bro, I gotta figure it out and do better"?
I had to truly accept the loss. Like, it took me a minute. I ain't watched the fight after the fight. None of that. I didn't.
I wouldn't have.
Pissed. I ain't watched the fight till probably like 3 weeks later.
Damn.
3 weeks later, I watched the fight and I was like, I could have had this. And you scored a draw. You was probably the only one that was really, you know, I knew I was going to lose after the final bell rung, especially when they didn't count that knockdown. But when I watched it and I saw that you scored a draw, I was like, this was really a lot closer than I really, you know what I'm saying? Because it's different
crazy in your head.
It's different when you in there. And because it's even with the Tank fight, it was just like, I was really putting it together. Like,
you watched it.
Wait, I watched it. I watched it. So with the Jamel fight, it was just like, we knew we wasn't going to get nothing on paper.
And I don't think that people understand either is that training compared to the actual fight, training, you going through rounds. Some, like, a lot of times people are putting in over 12, 15, 16 rounds, like one after the other. And I can only imagine that you just forgetting what round you're in and the sense of urgency because you're used to how training is if you're not at that type of pace. Also because of safety and protecting yourself until you get to the fight, so you're not going crazy like that, but you're putting in the rounds though, and you're not thinking about it through training like how many rounds you did, but you want to do X amount of rounds compared to like going back into the fight game and doing 12 rounds or however many rounds. You don't really remember what round you're on, even though with the cards and everything, like you just sit down, rest up, and get back at it.
We knew
No
that.
favors.
We knew that. Top rank show. I was with Golden Boy. He was the champ. Veterans Day weekend, I think.
Had a whole big thing.
Marine.
Yeah.
It was a huge thing. It was a huge thing.
I think they had some Marines out there. They did something. Yeah, they was all in the ring.
And
yeah.
I think it was like an anniversary for one of his tragedies. Yeah, for his daughter.
Yeah.
So
That's gonna be a tough one to overcome, bro. You got to knock him out.
I would have had to knock him out.
Yeah.
So that was our game plan. It's just, I started too late.
Yeah.
That was it.
But you got a second shot. 3 years later, 5 fights later, against Hector Luis Garcia, you finally win that world title, bro. Walk me through that fight, and then what it felt like to get that monkey off your back.
So with that fight, again, the odds makers had me messed up. Just off the eye test, I was like, y'all really think he gonna beat me? I was like, I know I lost to Jamel and all that stuff, but y'all think he gonna beat me? Y'all tripping.
Styles
That
make
was my
fights.
that was my few. I had a chip on my shoulder the whole camp. I'm like, they are tripping. So when we got there, and then take into account the wins that he had before, and the Tank fight, even though he got knocked out. Look at the wins he had before and the Tank fight. He was rumbling. When he fought me, it was like cat and mouse. I negated all that off the jump. I set everything up with the jab. Pressing, even after the fight, he was like, he didn't allow me to do anything. I didn't. It was that mental pressure, and it was definitely me being busy, and I cracked him a couple times. On a few jokes. I thought he was going to go out. But
You got sneaky power, bro. Like when I heard Javante say he can crack, but like when you see you, sometimes it don't seem like you cracking.
Yeah.
You really watching though, you see that stuff landing heavy. You could just see it's landing heavy, but you can easily overlook it too.
Yep.
If you're not really paying attention.
especially if you look at the numbers. That's what that'd be. I think that's an upside for me now. I don't really care about it.
Yeah, it's a trap for cats. Yeah.
Like, all right, we here now. We actually scratched off the first accomplishment on my goal list. Like, that's it. And I couldn't. You gotta think, my dad was right there too. Just like, we did it. We did it. Like, even before they announced the winner. When they said that last score, I was like, it's no way in hell that they scored that many rounds for him. I said, that's coming home, baby. I said, we going home with that. I said, we coming home. Yeah. So I was geek.
Man, it felt different when you got back to the city. You felt the love, or you felt what you feel?
I felt the love for sure. I felt the love. It was like, you know,
even a hater got to give you a nod or something, man. You come on with that stuff.
It's like they've been waiting on it too,
man. You know how it is. You come back to your hometown, they be like, not everybody, but some people showing you love, but they just because they got to.
They ain't got no choice with that.
You don't really look like a hater if you don't, you know.
Come on.
Yeah,
it's part of the game.
It was crazy.
When you start getting when you first start getting rumblings about the Gervonta Davis fight, like when you start hearing like, hey, this might be a thing.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I kind of figured we was gonna run into each other some way, somehow. When he won his first title.
For real?
Yeah. Was he around the same weight?
Yeah.
He's around the same weight.
Yeah, y'all
he
got
won at
one anyway.
Yeah, he won at 130. I was fighting at 130. Obviously, he was already at the championship level. He got catapulted up there by doing what he was supposed to do, knocking everybody out that they put in front of him. Got Floyd behind him. I was on the hush. I was coming up though. He's a small guy. I knew he wasn't going to go too far. So, and I knew he can rumble. I knew that he'd be as. I'm not surprised at how good he is or what he's done to other people. So I knew that we was going to meet. Even one time I actually seen him at a pool party. It's outside of boxing or whatever the case may be. I was getting ready for Jamel. He was already champ. He was like, I handle that business, man. We make some money together. So you ain't got to tell me twice.
Come on.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That's a blessing.
So it's just like all the signs was there. All I needed was, that first world title. Or whatever the case may be, that can put me in that conversation. When he fought Hector, little do a lot of people know, I got the call for that fight too. It was a little crazy, but I got the call for that fight.
To fight Gervonta or Hector first?
To fight Gervonta. I was already the mandatory for Hector. They was looking for opponents for him, or whatever the case may be. It might be on the scramble, or whatever the case may be. They didn't get a big fight like they wanted to. So that's why he went to 30 and see if Hector wanted to fight. But I did get the call, though. And, of course, we said yes. We just ain't get a call back.
So y'all was like a backup?
I wouldn't say a backup. You never know how serious it was. Hector was the champ already, so I guess that would look better than fighting me. No belt. Number one contender, but no belt. No pedigree to 135. Some might say the best at 135. Especially at that time, he was definitely like number one. So
when you first got that call, like, was it your pops that said, hey, they calling again?
We was in the car together. We was in Tampa. We went to go see the Commanders play the Bucks. We was on our way back home, and he was on the phone. So I'm right here ear hustling. I'm right here ear hustling. I'm like, oh, this sounds like some business. I'm waiting till he get off the phone. I'm like, what's up? Like that was TGB and Tank Team. They asked if y'all want to do the fight. I said, oh yeah. Couldn't wait. So then when we really started talking business, that's when we started weighing our options for real then. Because I did have something on the table. I had something on the table. So people who think I'm taking this fight for money, that wasn't the thing. Because I actually had an offer that was higher than the Tank fight.
Oh, for real?
Yes. To defend my belt. So for all the people who think I was, he doing it for a check. That's what I'm saying. I just even wanted to shut people up.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
you doing it for a check. We ain't doing it just for the check.
We ain't doing it just for the check. But trust me, because don't forget, this is business.
It's prize fighting. Yeah.
It's prize fighting for a reason.
Absolutely.
You talking about legacy.
But I did have a better offer. But it's like, I ain't worried about that because look at the upside.
We'll get that back.
One, it is a bag. But two, look at what they consider him now. The most dangerous fight, one of the most dangerous fighters in the world.
Yeah.
One of the highest knockout percentages amongst boxing. Pound for pound talent. And me, on the other hand, coming up from 130 to 135 to fight this monster. That's going to make me a 2-division world champ. That's going to make me a 2-time world champ. And that's going to put me in the pound for pound talks, at least. Talks. Why not? I know what I'm capable of.
Come on.
So, and that's what we've been working for anyway.
Talk that.
I ain't, I could have smoked that dude and then the opportunity be gone. Nah, never
Right.
come back. The window of opportunity is always closed.
Yeah, because Tank been talking about him retiring.
So
for-
y'all, how was
for
the
a minute.
negotiations? Was he taking everything and just saying
And
like,
soon.
look, bro, be happy with this, or did you could wheel and deal a little bit?
Basically.
Yeah.
We tried. I tried.
Yeah.
they was
what you
like,
trying to do?
I don't know. I'm like, tell them throw me a couple more dollars or something then. Like, but it is what it is. You know how I get to. They get to pay-per-view numbers, see what's gonna go on with that. It's gonna, I tried.
So you can tell me whatever you want to tell me about this, but some people do say, they like, man, they homeboys, man, he cool. Like, he just chucked him a bag, like just on some friendship type stuff, like they making money together. Or was it the way you just pretty much described it, like, nah, like we got history, but there wasn't no planned event.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
Like, I got the call and I said, yeah, and we rumbled.
For sure.
Yeah.
100%.
That made it seem like, oh, he just did his homeboy a favor.
I mean, if he did,
I think
I appreciate it,
I
but it
don't
wasn't,
think
like,
it's
talked
bad
about,
if he
though.
did though.
nah.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's
I
how it was.
I figured as though I did enough to where I could be in a conversation where he can fight me.
And I feel like Tank, I feel like he did him a favor too, but at the same time, I feel like Tank believed that he earned his grit, and he earned his spot to fight him as well. Because if he hadn't had a belt or whatever, because I believe Tank is a genuine person, like for real, a genuine person that he knows. I mean, they fought together. Personally, if it were me, not like I'm in that spot, but personally, if it were me, I'd be like, yeah, I know, man, so I want to give him a shot. I think it's worth it. And if you've ever been in combat sports at all, like, you have a reverence for the other fighters, even if you don't have to be their friend, you don't have to like them, but you have a reverence because they doing the same thing as you, and from starting from little and then coming up and seeing that same person come up, I would like genuine people know that, like, tossing that opportunity is that's everything, man. I think that's dope.
And that's me, like, taking myself outside of my body and not being big headed. Like, there's somebody that a lot of people consider better than you. He's bigger than you, in a higher weight. But I'm here. I'm in the talks. So, and if he did, like I said, I would do the same thing. Why not? Why not? You on top of your game. You doing this. You do that. Especially if you didn't have a high profile fight like that yet. Why not?
It's a good look.
That's a good look.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's what we supposed to do.
Come on.
If that's what we supposed to do.
If given the opportunity, yeah.
Come on.
That's what we should do
Exactly.
more often. People don't get that. Floyd did it a couple times.
Ali did it
Yeah.
a bunch.
See?
Jimmy Ellis, a whole bunch of people. I mean, I'll give you, I'll fight you. He knew he was going to make a big bag and put him in position. Now, I ain't going to let you beat me, but...
Yeah,
he shot
right.
But that's the thing. People running with this narrative of he was being nice. He was doing... Let's address some rumors
That's
real
what they
quick.
saying.
Tank knew he was in for a
What? They
fight.
saying he took it easy on me. That's a...
Hey, this internet crazy, bro.
What?
Social media crazy.
Let me address some rumors.
Go ahead.
Which I think is true too, but They say he's supposed to fight Jake Paul next after he was supposed to clean me up. Jake Paul gonna guarantee you about $40 million if the fight is with a notable person, which is Tank. Why would he take it easy on me? Why would he sacrifice that? Especially if he's talking about retiring and that's his exit plan. If that's the case, why would he do that? That baffles me. Now, as a fighter, let me ask you, would you ever sacrifice what you work so hard for? Your record, your legacy, chance to be one of the. Come on, that's all right. I'm gonna leave it at that.
And plus, being undefeated, as in Tank spot, Andre Ward's spot, things of that nature, that's a big hit in boxing. That is a big hit in boxing. In comparison to MMA, UFC, you went on a blues, nobody really cared that you lost. But boxing, people care. They care. They will shun you, bro. You're done. You're cooked. You're out of there.
That's what I'm saying.
There might be somebody out there that would.
Nobody gonna just sacrifice that. They gonna throw them hands, boy.
So
It didn't look like y'all was playing with each other during that fight, though.
at all.
It looked like you was trying to hurt him.
Come
It
on.
looked like he was
I
trying
saw
to
it
hurt
first
you.
round.
That's what I seen.
For sure.
But when I seen the first press conference, the first one was in D.C., right?
New York.
New York. Tell me if I'm reading this right. Like when I watch a fight, like I be on that psychological. I'm trying to see how the psychological warfare is going on. So I'm watching body language. I'm listening to what's being said, seeing if it's believable. I'm seeing all that. I'm just watching. When I seen y'all in the same vicinity, it looked like it was a mutual respect. It looked like it was clear y'all had history, but I didn't see him playing with you the way he played with them other guys and put his hands on you.
Yeah.
But I also didn't see you trying to do too much either. Like you stood your ground in terms of just, whatever you had to say. It seemed like it was a mutual respect. Like, man, there's deep respect here.
See, I
but sometimes you get the best fights when you got that type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't he play with you like he played with some of them other guys?
He know.
And I don't want nobody to take this the wrong way, but he know me.
What I say,
There's
bro?
a
What I
mutual respect for a
say?
reason. Just like I wouldn't go out there and
I'm
try to
telling
play
you, bro. There's a different line of respect.
Same way, other way around. Like, one, man respect man. I don't really play, like, what I'm saying, play too many. I don't care if it's to hype a fight up, but I don't play like that.
There's certain
Right.
things you don't do.
It's a lot of stuff you don't.
Keep your hands on.
Yeah, it's gonna get ugly. But again, it's a high level of mutual respect for each other. Like I said, we done bumped into each other plenty of times. More than the average boxer would see another boxer outside of boxing. So it's cool. Like, he cool with me and I'm cool with him. So that's you know what I'm saying? Like, if we were to see each other outside of our competition, it's what's up, what you want, how you doing.
Even after the fight. Even after that.
That's a little tough.
He changed his number. I tried to call him.
Tank, what you doing?
He changed his number.
Damn.
So
You
I
had his
don't
number
know.
all throughout camp too? Y'all
Before-
want to exchange your text messages and that?
Nah. But before the fight got postponed, he did call me one time. And I was like, what's up? Like, he like, what's
Text him
up?
back.
He like, you been in the gym? I'm like, yeah, you been in the gym? so he like, nah, I didn't ask me about my family, how my family doing. I asked him how he doing and all that stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it was. That's how it was.
Or you think he was asking if you've been in the gym and then shift to the family?
See, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Trying to check
But
that
that's-
temperature, yeah.
then the fight got postponed.
That's the one I'm supposed to be in Houston?
That was the one supposed to be in Houston in December. But I kind of figured, I put two and two together. His birthday was like a month before the fight, and he was still having fun. He just came from Paris. His birthday coming up. So I knew he wasn't going to be ready, especially when they didn't announce no press or they announced when the press conference was going to be or whatever the case may be. So I'm like, all right, when they going to make another announcement about something? So we got pushed back. Me personally, it could be something else, but me personally, I just think he wasn't ready. So if you ask about if it's still like that now, then yeah, I mean, like, I tried to call him. And I tried to DM him too. Like, all right, you see me call, you call me back. Or if you change your number, just hit me.
It's probably a little bit hotter now.
I think
feel
so.
Away, you feel away.
You gotta think, he probably, if you want, all right, we're gonna put it out there like this because a lot of people is telling me something, like some of the same things. Some people feel like, oh, he gave me an opportunity and now I'm just dragging him through the, how I'm dragging him, I ain't say nothing bad about you. I thanked you multiple times the lead up,
that's a fact.
after the fight. Like, I appreciate that. I did not say you was a trash fighter. I ain't say you ain't had no chin. I ain't say you was slow.
Nothing personal.
I ain't say nothing personal. All I did was highlight my own doings, my performance. How I'm dragging somebody if I'm only talking about my performance.
Right.
I don't get that. And a lot of people in my comments too, oh, you need to thank him. You need to thank him. Oh, if y'all paid attention, I thanked them a lot. And I thanked them in that ring with our performance. So.
But y'all about to rumble again though. We ain't like, we you know, maybe we'll be cool later.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
that's not what I'm on right now.
That's not what I'm on, for sure.
I'm trying to get this money right just so we can run this back.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I ain't get the job done. I gotta complete the mission.
Straight up.
So, I mean, that's what we in it for.
Yeah.
That's what we in it for. So, that's what I'm on.
Mm-hmm. Man, when I watched probably like maybe three of your episodes. What was it called?
The Reaper's Tale.
The Reaper's Tale.
Yeah. All odds against all odds.
It was good, man. Y'all did a good job with that.
Thank you.
Similar to the press conference when I seen the footage, I'm like, bro, seemed like his mind made up. You know, you see a lot of pump faking, man, in boxing, a lot of rah-rah. And a lot of times that stuff, man, as soon as that pressure hit, you see a different side. But I'm like, he ain't too high, like, oh, I'm about to. But he wasn't. You didn't seem like the moment, you know. Even as the fight got closer, that's when it can start getting real. You 2 weeks out, a week out, you start seeing cats look different and talk different. You just look settled. Like I know what I'm getting into, and he better know what he getting into. And it was like a balanced approach. And I was like, he got to show it, but like, he seemed like he ready.
But that's what I've been trying to tell everybody.
You were saying it. You were saying it the whole time.
I've been telling them. That's what people don't get. I've been trying to tell them since they announced the fight. I've been saying the same thing. I've been on the same path. Mm-hmm. The same path. He better be ready. Because I know what I come to do. I know what I prepared for, and I know what I can do.
I think because so many people are used to.
I knew that the lights wasn't going to affect me.
Faking.
I'm not one of them, like, and I know people, like you said, people say what don't affect them and what.
They're used to
you
people that are fake about it.
You say anything you want, but I'm going to act like I've been there before, even though I haven't, brother. Them lights hit you.
It's so similar
you start
to the
looking
real.
at that crowd,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I ain't never seen as many people at a fight before. Bruh, whatever's in you gonna come out.
Yeah,
and if you got some turn in you, or if you not as confident as you've been trying to, we gonna see it.
You gonna see it.
We gonna see it.
The truth, Ruth.
Now I was trying to figure this out. You gotta help me with the DMV, DC, Maryland politics. I don't know how it works. Barry and them, that's my guy, man. I love all the headbangers, man. I just talked to Lamont the other day.
For sure.
Came up with them guys, man. And I know from what I understand, like, he's been over there training with them. So did you feel any type of way with DC helping Baltimore get ready for DC?
No. And no.
You shouldn't.
Just straight up no. Okay. But it's because I wouldn't put it past them because I know that they have history.
Okay.
So, like, it was just like might have been the slightest surprise. But when I got word or heard, like when it was rumors, I was like, oh, he over there. I figured that. But as the fight went on, I mean, like as the build up went on and stuff like that, I was just like, I was confused. I was like, well, what Calvin at? I'm like, something ain't right.
Cause you ain't seen him.
Then I seen him at the DC press conference. But he wasn't on stage.
But was he at New York too?
Oh yeah,
he wasn't at New York. And you seen him in DC?
I seen him in DC,
But he wasn't on stage.
but he wasn't on stage. So I was like, might be a little trouble in paradise.
Yeah.
Then I see online plastered all 4 of the coaches there. I'm like, oh, he gotta get a super team to beat me. I was like, oh yeah, we got him. I was like, we got him.
That
They
was
gotta
your
build
read.
the Avengers. They need the Avengers to come beat me. And then taking it back to Headbangers, I got ready for my last 2 fights kind of like over there. For real,
Oh, yeah?
for real. Did I?
At they gym?
At their gym. Like we was coming over there for spawn and stuff like that. So like, and strictly spawn. So they seen me work
It's like a rec center over there, right?
it's a it's a rec. It's DPR, it's a rec. So they seen me spar damn near. If I did like 100 rounds, they probably seen 60. So that's why I was like, all right, maybe they want some insight, but I promise you, the only insight they was gonna get from them rounds is that I'll be beating people. That's it. I'm telling you. And I think that probably would help him more. They gonna be like, all right, you better not bullshit because he gonna put it on you if you bullshit. So I think that might have helped.
I felt like Javante knew though. Like, I feel like he was real about what he was dealing with.
He
Of
had to
course,
know.
he probably felt like
He tried to tell the people too.
He said it.
He
Yeah.
definitely did.
They was trying to, talk down on the fight. He was like, nah, man, he can crack. He started naming all the stuff. He tough. He this and that. He knew, but he probably, at the
I didn't
same
know
time,
beforehand.
for a puncher,
I ain't gonna lie to you.
that's the gift and the curse of being able to crack like that. Is you believe everybody gonna fall.
Yeah.
Even if you give him credit, you believe when I hit him the right way though, he gonna go. You know what I mean? What was your read on Javante going into the fight, him personally? As you watched him, did media with him, and just seeing him the way he was moving.
I wasn't trying to get too into what could be in his camp. In our camp, we put it out there up front street. We preparing for the best Javante Davis that's going to ever show up in the ring. All the things he do good. And we going to amplify it, and we going to be prepared for that. I wasn't hoping that he was slipping or, that he was down or whatever the case may be. But like I said earlier, when I say about some of the interactions or like the familiarity, I said this in one of the, I want to say PVC interviews or whatever. I think he doubted himself. I think those are the gloves off. I think he doubted himself. Hell of a talent, hell of a puncher. Super, super, super good accuracy. I think that's what leads to most of his knockouts, honestly. But he doubted himself.
Why you say?
And he been doing that since a kid.
Yeah. Something you know.
So that's just something I know. So that played a little bit into the fight. I think especially when there's not a lot of animosity, because you got to think a lot of people.
That is true.
Court, they just have differences. That like they be into it or whatever the case may be. I don't got no problem with him, and he don't got no problem with me. So I think he was trying to find something to boost his morale or get him going.
That is a true statement.
And he
for a
tried
lot of
to
fighters.
like the betting me that he gonna knock me out and stuff like that. That didn't go too well for him.
Did y'all bet?
Oh, we bet and we shook on it.
He paid up?
He changed his number.
You ain't heard from him.
Damn.
Got that check.
I ain't got that yet.
Oh my
Changed his number,
gosh.
Slim.
Ooh. All right, so I'm already. This is already putting it in perspective. I think the rematch is gonna be insane. And this is how it's kind of playing to me in my head is like I could see Javante coming out just through the press, not even the actual fight, but just treating the whole situation real different. Making Lamont Roach his enemy, so then he can. Cause I feel like he believes he lost. Like after everything kind of settled down, I feel like Tank knows that he lost, and I feel like that's really in his psyche, and especially Lamont Roach saying that Tank doubted himself, and he's known that since he was a kid. I really feel like Tank is going to be a different Tank, and he's just going to be a supervillain. I feel like he has to if he wants to win, because there's difference when you're talking animosity amongst a fighter compared to just a reverence and respect. Honestly, I fight my friends better than the people I fight, and I fight harder when I fight my friends, which is funny because we all prepare for fights. But I feel like it was different for Tank. He has to have that animosity. He has to have that fiery buildup. And that was just not given from Lamont Roach. There was a respect between them two. And I feel like it might have taken off some pop from Tank. And the rematch, that's going to be something serious. I know it.
But that would be a conversation for another day. I think that's what he tried to use to get himself going, and like he ready and all this and all that. See me, I'm 20 with.
Man, you look like you had a great camp.
I did.
That ain't guaranteed going into a big fight. Sometimes you have a bad camp and everything go wrong. But that didn't look like that was the case for you.
I mean, I had a great camp. Some bad things happened. I ain't gonna lie. You can ask my man Reggie, my cameraman. He done seen it. He was out there 7 weeks straight.
Y'all cut that out of the thing, man. We ain't see that.
Man,
we didn't see that.
A couple bad things happened. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
A couple bad things. But we got it together. A lot of people don't know I had the flu a week before the fight.
Ooh. How many days?
I had the flu probably like 4. I didn't get better till 5 days after I got sick. Mind you, this the leading up to the fight week.
The worst possible time.
I was 150, 147. I was 147 like 5 days before the fight.
Dang.
5-6 days before the fight. I couldn't work out. I was down bad.
How you get it off?
It work, a lot of water. A lot of water, the work, just, trusting the process that we have. Eating super, super, super clean now because making 135 was so easy for me. But I definitely had the flu, man. It was concerning, especially when my dad was like, "Nah, just rest."
And that's the stuff nobody
I was like,
want
"You
to
sure
hear
you don't want me to work out?"
before the fight.
He like, "Just rest."
You ain't gonna get better if you work out.
Right.
You're not gonna get better.
Yeah. But that was one of the few things that one of the few things that went bad. And then another thing, I'm gonna tell y'all after the rematch. That's gonna be a big story.
Oh man.
I'll tell y'all after the rematch.
Let's go.
Man, that first bell ring, start walking me through that fight. What you feeling, what you sensing, Like that's the biggest crowd you ever been in front of, the biggest event you ever been a part of. And from what I saw, like I said, even with the build-up, I didn't see a scared fighter. I didn't see of course you got nerves. You're human.
Yeah, that's him.
But it's how you manage them, and it seemed like you wasn't playing from the jump. And so start walking me through that fight after that first bell.
After the first bell, it was just like I said, man,
I can
my
see it.
vision be so tunnel. I think
You
I'm
just
in
look
the
at the
fight
eyes.
before the
That's
fight
the
even
difference.
starts. I visualize the fight 30,000 different ways. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. 30,000 different ways. I mean, like, it's a whole lot that I visualize. But once you're there, it's like, all right, let me see what he got, and let me see if he can handle what I got. And that was the whole thing from the jump. Like,
your power and his power. Who can take it?
who could take it for sure. And I just wanted to be assertive, off like from the jump. I ain't wanna take a step back for him to gain some confidence.
Yeah.
Now whether it be strategical or not, that's cool. But I definitely didn't want to give him no type of edge. I know that the crowd was gonna be pro Tank for sure. I even told him that in the ring, like, why they yell and stuff like that when you throw a punch?
You said that while y'all was fighting?
While we was fighting. Yeah. I was like, why? I'm like, why they so loud when you punch? And then, but when I punch you, they don't do nothing.
Wow.
So it was just like, it's just like maintaining, like, all right, this what we here to do. Just execute. My dad was coaching his ass off in that corner.
Come on.
During the fight,
Dad.
everything. And it's just like to me, it's just like, because it's not a switch that turns on, because like I said, I'm already in the fight before the fight starts. I got one goal, one objective. So when it come down to it for real, I don't really see the crowd. I ain't see the crowd until I looked at the video.
That's real television.
And I was like, it was sold out to like, to the T. So I'm like, the low output really like, we kind of expected it in the beginning.
From him or from both of y'all?
From him. Because I knew he was going to try to bait me.
Yeah.
Try to bait me or whatever the case may be. But we knew that we would have to try to at least be active and be controlling with the ring to win those rounds. After the first round, I was like, all right, it's a fill-out round. But how can anybody score that round for him when he didn't do nothing? I was the aggressor, and I knew I was going to be the aggressor from the whole camp.
Yeah, you did that.
The whole camp.
You
I knew
did
I was going to be the aggressor the whole camp. I've been in there with guys who can punch, bigger guys, and stuff like that. So we prepared the right way. We had many looks. We had different looks. We had short month. We were like super. We had midget in there. We had a guy that fights at 47, but was not really like. He was nowhere near his camp, so he's probably like 68.
Yeah, he big.
Big, a lot of oomph on his shots. And then we had a speedster, a very, very, very athletic fighter too that just match all his tangibles. And we put it together, man. It's just like, all right, some of this stuff is looking like some of it we've been doing in the gym. So it's just like, all right. Then I knew it was gonna get to a point where his corner is gonna tell him he need to pick it up. That's my game. That's my game right there.
What round you think that was when he did that? When he first
Probably
started
like 4 or 5. No, probably like 5, 6. Like 5, 6. And then when he actually hit me clean, I was like, all right. If that happened again, is it gonna be like this?
Right.
So I was like, if it's gonna be, I'm like, let's test this out again. Not just get hit, but like, let's see what he working with. I lie to you not. After he told me he was like, I hit him with like a clean body shot. He was like, I thought you hit harder than that. I was like, motherfucker, I thought you hit harder than that.
Nah, that's what happens.
Right.
That's what I told him. I'm like, I said, I thought you hit harder than that. I said, I thought you hit harder than that. And then he was like, oh, I see the round ended. He was like, watch. I went back to the corner. I was like, I got him. I was like, I got him. The next round he came out, he tried to hit me hard. I seen it, and you can go back and watch the tape. He threw like a big left. I blocked it or whatever. But he hit me with 2 body shots. But he tried to throw them with all his might. I was like, it's over. The only way he gonna get me is if he get me. And that's gonna be like with an accurate punch or whatever the case may be that's gonna land on the butt.
But you wasn't afraid for that to happen. You didn't seem like you were. One thing I thought you did real good was you answered almost every time he got off. Mm-hmm. Every time he got off, you was right in range, bang, bang, and everything didn't land clean, but a lot of stuff did. And like that's a silent message. It's silent, but it's not so silent. Like the fighters feel it like, dang. And a lot of times he'd get off, and he'd just relax, and boom, boom, boom. You'd get off like that ain't that type of party tonight.
Yeah,
Right.
it ain't.
That was the game plan, or is that an on the fly adjustment you made?
Nah, that's that wasn't necessarily the game plan. That was more IQ. He's a star. So when they see that he do something, they can probably be like, oh, that affected him. Because they know he's a knockout puncher. They know that, nah, it ain't happening like that. Like, it was cool, but I'm right back. And you gonna see what I do to him, especially people that's not expecting it. Y'all gonna see that. The judges might think that too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta think. In hindsight, to win a 12-round fight, boxing is about perception. You got 3 people scoring the fight. If he finished a combination with some big punches or something that looked like it affected me, they gonna be like he got that moment. Nah. But that one, I was trying to answer it, but I was trying to get off too. I was trying to rumble, I ain't gonna lie. But I've been telling people that. I'm like, I'm gonna get this party like cracking. If he not, I am. So if he ain't had no answer, then that's why I told somebody perfectly. I said, either I'm gonna beat the shit out of him or it's gonna be fight of the year. Cause it's gonna make him bring his skill out. It's gonna make him bring his bag out. I said that with 100% confidence.
When he took the knee, what, 9th round?
9th round.
Well, what are you thinking when he took the knee? Was he blinking before he took the knee? Could you see he had some in his eye?
No, that's the thing. This whole fight, that's what I'm saying. This whole fight, you don't see him wipe at his eye. You don't see him blink. You don't see him do none of that. After the beginning of the 9th round, I had a very good beginning of the 9th round too. People forget that. I hit him with a lot of punches. I was busy. He didn't really return. When I hit him with that jab, I hit him with a grazing blow before that, like a right hand. He rolled with it and probably barely hit him. But that kind of bothered him too. So that's when you could see him wipe at his eye. The corresponding eye though, the one that I punched with, it hit him in the other eye and he wiped it. When I hit him with the jab, he wiped his eye. Looked at the ref, backed up, took a knee. How's that not a knockdown?
He started counting though.
Started counting.
Then he stopped and let him go.
Then stopped and then look, not only that, told him because they picked it up on the mic, you can't do that.
Yeah, oh, he told him that?
You can't do that because it looks like it looked like a knockdown. Looks? What do you mean looks like? It is.
Right.
Took a knee.
You touch your glove on the canvas, knee on the floor, that's a knockdown.
Just because he told you, hold on, I was getting...
I ain't never seen nothing like that in no fight. I seen people take a knee, like Floyd did it. That's the one everybody point to, but I ain't never seen nobody take no knee and go get their eyes wiped in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's like something you might do in sparring.
Right.
Something you might do, yes. Something you might do.
Like, not in a mega fight, though.
I ain't gonna take a knee, but I'll go wipe my eye.
Like, hold on, right? Like
yeah. Wipe my
be
eye
vocal.
Yeah.
Hold on. Like, I got something in my eye. Hold on real quick. But this is just sparring, though.
Yeah, I ain't never seen that in no real fight, dog.
Right.
I ain't never seen that in no real fight.
Tragic, right?
Yeah, you can't, man, I know, look, bro, it's a human side to this judging thing, and it's a human side to this, what the refs do, but y'all got to get it right.
I need to listen to Tank. I need to hear what he got to say, bro.
Livelihood, what that mean? That means that if you make the right call, my money go up. If you make the wrong call, my money go up, but not like it should. That's playing with my livelihood.
Yeah, for sure. Loss of wages, if people want to get technical.
Right.
Yes.
Loss of wages.
Because you broke your own rules. Like, y'all create the bylaws and the rules, y'all broke that.
Yes, sir.
In front of the world.
I'm going to need that back.
At that.
So that's the problem I be having with that kind of stuff, man. It'd be tough because, you got to show people some grace, like, man, okay, whatever. But, like, if it's a clear rule that you can't break, you can't break that. It just is what it is. No matter how nobody feel about it.
And what's that doing to the integrity of our sport, too? That's crazy. People get favoritism.
What was something he was doing in there where you was like, that's nice? What was he doing that was working for him? that was giving you trouble? I know y'all might run that thing back, so you know.
He's a lot faster than people think he is. And he twitchy. He
Explosive. Yeah.
It's because they don't throw a whole bunch of
he
punches.
he got a good eye. He like,
It's easier to be quicker and faster
his
when you're not
twitch is-
throwing a bunch of
you
combinations.
never know. A lot of his previous knockouts was off that boom. I mean, and they was brutal. So he got a good eye for boxing for
He
sure.
got a good boxing mind too. Good
He got
IQ.
a good, yeah, for sure.
Good IQ.
He got a good IQ.
He was in good shape. Did you hear him breathing? He was in good shape. Gotcha.
Ah!
I hope he was in good shape. I hope he think he was in good shape. That's all I'm gonna say.
What about his physical strength? Punching power different than physical strength.
That's true.
When you,
He ain't that
you
strong.
lock up, is he
He
strong?
too small.
Yeah.
He too small.
You just said that man too small, bro. Y'all in the same weight class.
That's a new weight
you
class
moved
for
up.
me. A new weight class for me.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all was that night. Y'all was in the same weight class. And you still feel like you too small?
He was too small.
Dang.
You just call him
Yo.
straight. No disrespect, no nothing. He was just too small. I've been in there with some big guys. I do a lot of work that prepares me to be grounded and be strong in the inside, get in position, stuff like that.
But his power make up the difference for all that.
Oh yeah, it do.
Explosiveness, skill,
It
accuracy.
do. His
Like you said, his accuracy is something that ain't
accuracy
talked
is
about.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
It takes skill, bro. It takes an IQ to be able to see something and then land something
Yeah.
like where you need to land it. You know?
His accuracy is unbelievable. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Dog,
I'm a
punch accuracy is wildly dismissed in the fighting community, period. People think that you could just throw punches and that's it, just because you hitting the bag, whatever. That doesn't fully include punch accuracy. Being precise, being a sniper with your shots is different, is way next level compared to just being able to throw shots, because people be whiffing. Even people that could punch, that are punchers, they're not accurate. Being accurate is way better than just punching hard. Promise you, it's a button and you will go to sleep if you know what it is.
Boxing fan, so like, I done seen them put them dudes away.
After the fight, what you thinking? Last bell ring, what you thinking?
Oh my God! After the last bell, I'm like, oh yeah, like we coming home with this. But
You
know,
felt you was gonna win? You felt they was gonna
like I said, it's different in the ring, but and that's the difference. I felt like I just got finished fighting an 8-4 fight. I ain't gonna lie. I felt like it. I felt like, I'm like, dog, even if they get it wrong to where the margin, I said,
you still felt like you was on
I said, there's no way. I said, there's no way. But when they announced the first scorecard for him, that's
15,
when they
13?
that's when it really got me. And they said for Davis, you know, normally that's coming either a split decision. More than likely, it's coming a split decision or majority draw. They said for Davis, I said, oh my God, I won.
Yeah.
I said, they gonna give me a split decision win. I was like, we coming home, man. I said, it's coming home again. They say 114. I said,
Tough.
You knew what it
they
was at
couldn't
that
do
point.
that. I said, oh man. But then I was like, no. Because after they said 114, immediately it took me back to probably like the 11th round or 12th round. He was skating around the ring. He was like, what, you ain't gonna win?
He said that?
What? Yes. He said, you ain't gonna win. I'm like, yeah, why not? He like, they ain't gonna give it to you.
Jeez.
Dang.
Jeez.
I was like,
Rabbit hole. That's
Alright.
hey, yo. That is crazy.
So I seen you do the watch back. Did he bite you?
huh?
Did he bite you? Did he try to bite you?
I see. So that's a
I couldn't really tell. It looked like I couldn't really tell.
So we was in the locker room, and this is probably like what after the post presser. We was in the locker room. My father told me, he was like, "Man, he tried to bite you." I said, "Hey, boy." I'm like, "Nuh-uh, I'm in the ring. That's something that you would know happened." I said, "No, he didn't. Like, what's going on with you? You tripping? I don't remember that." I'm like, I got punched a few times, but I ain't crazy.
Yeah, right.
He like, "Nah, he really tried to bite you." I'm like, "How you know? Show me." He couldn't pull it up. But when I went back and watched the fight, I was like, because I wasn't even thinking about it no more. It's probably like a day later. I seen it, I was like,
oh no, he did it. That's crazy.
And then you can hear Moro Ronaldo.
Oh, he did.
Compare him to Mike Tyson with some biting stuff.
Dog.
He said that on air?
Cause look, you can tell. It looked like he trying to bite an apple, bro. It looked, dog. That's crazy. He knew he was gonna lose. Tank knew he was gonna lose. He was supposed to lose. This is clarification. There's no way you have any sense to bite somebody, period, between being 3-5 years old to being a grown man at the pinnacle of your sport trying to bite somebody. Dog, this clarifies right here. This is deeply solidified. Tank Roach won like hands down. That's crazy. That's crazy. You don't even have to see his whole face, but you could tell the texture of how the top frame of his face looks to how, dog, it looks like he's trying to, bro.
He's more like
That's
Mike Tyson in other ways as well. We don't want to talk about that.
Force another comparison.
That's
I don't want to make
crazy.
to Mike Tyson, but
That's the last thing we need.
yeah.
Hey,
Yes. So that's why I was like, all right, I'm not tripping, because they seeing it too. Then my sister told me, she's like, nah, I ain't gonna lie, I seen that during the fight.
Wow.
So I'm like, how did I miss that?
I didn't even catch
because
that.
he didn't bite me.
yeah. You got the mouthpiece in too.
Yeah. So it's just like, obviously he didn't bite me, but it looked like, 9 times out of 10, that looks like he tried to bite me.
He tried to bite him.
Did you see the clip?
I did.
So I don't know.
I do.
But I'm leaning towards,
that for sure. He was trying to
you really
bite
try
him.
to bite me? It was crazy.
So, after the fight, post-fight, did y'all say anything after the decision was read? Did y'all have any other words before y'all left the ring?
Good fight.
That's it?
Yeah. It was cool. Good fight. No. That was it.
Post-fight press conference, he was talking like you wasn't going to get it next. He was like, yeah, that probably ain't going to be next. And then you was like, I want it, but if not, I'll fight Shakur. Right? You said that, right? A lot of people ain't saying they're going to fight Shakur.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, I don't know what it was, a week later, a couple days later, y'all start having, words on social. And then he said what he said about, I'm about to push for the fight. You like, you can't push for the fight. It's mandatory. Did y'all start talking, negotiating for this second one right after that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
You ain't got to get into all the details, but which way we trending? Is it in the right direction, or some things got to happen before we go in the right direction?
We trending in the right direction. We trending in the right direction. I hope we can make an announcement soon.
Okay.
Come on.
I hope we have a decision.
It need to be this
soon.
year,
That's
bro.
all I'm gonna say. But we trending in the right way.
I think
For
it's
sure.
gonna get done.
I think so.
I think it's gonna get
No.
done.
No later
I
than
think it's
fall,
the only way
man.
it should happen.
Yeah. How many rematches have you fought in your pro career?
0.
What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again? It's
That's a
enough
good
separation
question.
where this don't happen again?
Whew, it's a good question. It definitely be based off of. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta put myself. It's gonna be based on my training camp.
You gotta
I have
get
to
more
push
output.
myself a little harder. If that didn't get me the win, and I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not gonna lie. I have room.
You believe you fought the best Javante, or do you think he got
No, he
some
got
more
something
gears.
else.
100% for a fact.
No, he
I
got
think he
love.
might have some more gears, but I fought the
Yeah.
best Javante that night. I don't want people to get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be. He's a hell of a fighter.
Okay, that's that confidence.
Hell of an IQ, great punching power,
Talk that.
good speed, and a really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that. Don't think because of what I did, y'all think y'all can just go in there and think y'all can have the same night, you know what I'm saying, or do the same thing.
Right.
He still will go upside your head and crack you, and you know what I'm saying, you might end up on the floor. Everybody not built the same, and that's what people getting messed up. A lot of people talking down like, oh, he did it. Well, some, because he still got a super fan base that's saying that he's going to take my head off and damn near kill me in a rematch. But they like, don't get it. He did a whole lot of things that was good in that fight.
Oh yeah.
A whole lot. And I'm telling you right now, if he wasn't as good of a fighter as he was, that would have been, you know what I'm saying? I would have steamrolled him. So it's like, don't get that misconstrued. He's still
little bit,
the guy he is.
A little bit
Just
more.
he ran into a guy that's on the same level.
How much has your life changed since this fight? Even though it wasn't a win you wanted, but you know.
And you know that's the crazy thing. I didn't even win. I had a draw. I gotta walk around with my man. You know, hitting my security detail, man. Like, it's different now. I probably, like, it's so much attention. I can't move the way I moved before. It's just like, even though you think a city love you, it's like, it's still those guys that's looking at you like, oh, he just got a bag.
Crash out,
Right.
yeah.
It's different. It's a lot more people that are vocal about how they've been supporting me too.
I'm with you, man, from the
Yeah,
beginning. I knew you
from
was
the
gonna
jump.
do it. I tried to tell him.
So, you know, it's
Come
a lot
with
of
the
people.
game, baby.
It come with it for sure. And
It's a good problem to have, though. You know,
It is.
you could have a problem, right? Like nobody paying attention, and you still gonna deal with life. You still gonna deal with some hate. You still gonna deal with some stuff, or you could deal with the problem of being elevated and dealing with more hate and more, you know, just issues, bro. Just stuff you got to deal with, you know. But at the same time, for all of that, it's a lot of love too, and that's one thing that we got to always remember. Yeah, it's hate, but we can't magnify the hate. It is what it is. Y'all over there, man, I got a lot of love though, and they really been rocking with me from the beginning.
Exactly.
And no matter what happened in that fight, they was gonna still be rocking with me.
Exactly.
That's really where the focus got to be.
And that's what keeps me grounded. That's what keeps me grounded for real. My support system is crazy. They one of the reasons why I'm here. So,
Cause it's a blessing. It's a blessing, bro. It's a blessing. Like, give me that pressure that come with being successful.
it's cool. I can put that on my.
Cause it's pressure not being successful and trying to figure out how to make this money work. And man, I need this. I got a family. That's pressure too.
Yeah.
Just different pressure. Give me that pressure.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, brother, I appreciate you, man. I know you've been moving, and I appreciate you coming to see us up here in Philly, man. And we gonna stick with you, bro. And you know, maybe tap in with you when this fight get done.
But I'm telling you, ain't
with
nobody
you,
got
bro.
a
But
kick game
both of
better
y'all
than
put on a great
Andre
performance,
Ward,
bro. I really enjoyed the fact that y'all from the same area, and y'all was able to rumble like that, and you know, still have respect. You know, I get building up a fight, but that was interesting to me, just seeing y'all being as close as y'all have been throughout the years. Not friends and partners, but like y'all know each other.
Yeah, definitely.
But still seeing it like, but they really finna try to do something to each other.
Yeah.
And y'all did that. Y'all put on a great fight. So I respect Javante, man, for extending the opportunity, but I respect you for not just taking the money and really saying, bro, yeah, appreciate the opportunity, but be ready.
Yeah.
I appreciate both of y'all for that, man. It was a great fight. And I hate that there was any type of controversy around it, but hey, this boxing, and that's what rematches are for, bro. So hopefully y'all get that done. And we're going to be tuning in, bro. So we appreciate you, brother.
Man, no
Quick,
doubt.
fast,
Thank
and in a
you.
hurry.
Keep doing what you're doing,
This
man.
year.
It's a wrap for the Art Award, man. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Hey man, that was a blessing just to even watch that. I'm gonna continually say it. Andre Ward is probably the best boxer interviewer ever, cause he's. It's not like there hasn't been, but he's eye level with people. You know what I mean? Like he don't look at himself being way up there with it. He gets on everybody level and talks to them as such, and he's just a real dude 100% of the time. And I appreciate him. I appreciate Art Award. I appreciate all the smoke for even doing something like this, because this is fire. I heard that they're like they didn't expect this to do as well as it is, and I'm so appreciative of it. I love how this is turning out, and I wish and I pray, not I wish, I pray that it is a blessed podcast interview thing for years and years and years. So, shoot, hopefully you guys had a wonderful time, just as much as I did. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.